All right, so you're ready to jump into AI in sales and marketing.
Sounds like it.
And it looks like you've got a ton of articles you want to go through.
Yeah,
This one, 10 myths about artificial intelligence that hold back sales and marketing teams. Seems like a good place to start.
definitely.
I'm thinking you want to know if these myths are actually, true or if they're just hype.
Definitely. Yeah, AI is everywhere these days, and I think it's time to separate fact from fiction, really figure out what's actually going on here.
For sure, by the end of this deep dive, you'll be able to spot an AI myth a mile away. And better yet, you'll know how to use AI to your advantage in sales and marketing, no matter how big or small your business is.
That's the goal. I think a lot of people get intimidated by AI, thinking it's only for these huge companies.
Right, like it's this super exclusive club.
Exactly.
But that's not the case at all. We'll get into that a little later.
Yeah.
But first, let's talk about one of the biggest AI myths out there. AI will replace jobs.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Right. I think it's something a lot of people, especially in sales and marketing, are worried about.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, nobody wants to feel like I'm going to get replaced by a robot. It's understandable.
Of course. But what if, instead of replacing you, AI could actually make your job easier?
Oh, that would be nice.
Right. What if it could take over all those repetitive, time-consuming tasks that eat up your day? Like, imagine if you could finally get rid of all that data entry.
That would free up so much time.
Exactly. And think about what you could do with all that extra time.
You could focus on more important stuff.
Yes, like building relationships with clients, coming up with creative marketing campaigns, stuff that AI can't do.
Right. The things that actually require that human touch.
So instead of being scared of AI, maybe we should be thinking of it as like a really efficient assistant.
I like that. Like a super-powered sidekick.
Exactly. It's not here to steal your job. It's here to help you do your job better.
Makes sense.
Now, can you give me an example of how this actually plays out in the real world?
Sure. Let's say you're on a sales team that's using AI to analyze customer data.
Okay.
The AI can go through tons of information, like way more than a human could ever handle, and it can spot patterns and predict which customers are most likely to, make a purchase.
So it's like having a crystal ball, but for sales.
Pretty much.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really powerful, and it means that you can focus your energy on the leads that have the highest potential, right? You can craft these really personalized pitches that are way more likely to actually convert.
So AI is basically helping you close more deals.
Yeah, exactly. It's making you even more valuable to the company.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. So that's one myth busted. But what about the cost?
Yes. The million-dollar question.
Right. I mean, all this sounds great, but is it actually affordable? The next myth we're tackling claims that AI is only for big companies.
That's a common misconception.
Yeah. A lot of smaller businesses are probably thinking, AI, that's way out of our league.
Yeah, but they couldn't be more wrong. We're way past the days when only these giant tech companies could afford AI. There are so many affordable AI tools out there that are made specifically for, businesses of all shapes and sizes, even startups.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
That's great to hear. So what are some examples of these tools, and how do they actually work?
Let's start with chatbots, for example.
Okay.
You've probably seen them, all over the internet, right?
Yeah, pop it up on websites and stuff.
Exactly, and they can be really helpful. There are simpler chatbots that follow pre-programmed scripts to answer basic questions, which can save you a ton of time on customer service.
I could see how that would be super helpful.
Yeah, but then you've also got these more sophisticated chatbots, the ones that use AI.
Oh, okay.
And these ones can actually learn and adapt to customer interactions over time. They get smarter as they go along, which is pretty amazing.
That is pretty cool.
They can recommend products that the customer might be interested in based on their past behavior, or even handle basic transactions like processing a return or something.
Wow, so they're more than just answering FAQs?
Oh yeah, they're becoming really powerful.
I'm impressed. But even with these more affordable tools, isn't there still a cost involved? Like, what about training and maintenance?
That's a great point. It's definitely something businesses need to consider.
Yeah, because you can't just buy the software and expect it to, work miracles.
Exactly. You might need to train your team on how to use the new AI tools, and some platforms require ongoing maintenance or support, which can cost money. But the good news is that many of these platforms offer pay-as-you-go models.
Okay, so you don't have to commit to a huge contract right away.
No, not at all. You can start small, test the waters, and then scale up as your business grows and your needs change.
That's much less intimidating.
Right. It's a way more flexible approach to using AI.
I like it. So it's not necessarily a massive investment up front. You can kind of dip your toes in and see how it works for your business.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. AI is becoming more and more accessible to everyone.
All right, 2 myths down. This deep dive is already proving to be pretty insightful.
Glad to hear it.
Now let's move on to a myth that honestly sounds a little too good to be true. AI works automatically without human input.
Yeah, if only it were that simple.
Right. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Just flip a switch and let the AI do its thing.
It'd be amazing, but unfortunately, AI isn't some magical set it and forget it solution.
Ah, there's the catch.
Yeah, there's always a catch. Think of it more like bringing on a really skilled but totally inexperienced new team member.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
You got to train them, show them the ropes.
So it's not just plug and play.
No, you need to invest some time and effort up front. You need to feed it the right data, make sure it's learning the right things, and make adjustments along the way to fine-tune it.
So it's not just a one-time setup thing.
Nope, it needs ongoing attention. Think of it like tending a garden. You can plant the seeds, but you got to water them, weed them, and make sure they're getting enough sun if you want them to thrive.
That's a great analogy. It really highlights the importance of that human touch, even with AI.
Exactly. AI needs a little TLC, just like anything else.
Okay, speaking of things that need a little help, this article bundles a couple of myths together that, frankly, I think really underestimate what AI can do.
Oh, interesting. Which ones?
Myth number 4 claims that AI is only useful for repetitive tasks.
Okay.
And myth number 10 suggests that AI is only useful for large advertising campaigns. I mean, come on. It's got to be able to do more than that, right?
Oh, absolutely. Those myths are way too limiting. They fail to grasp the full potential of AI, which goes way beyond just automating basic tasks. AI can actually help us be more strategic in our thinking. Yeah, it can analyze data and find these patterns that we might miss as humans. And then it uses that to generate insights that can inform our strategy, whether it's a big campaign or a small one.
Wow, so it's not just about doing things faster, it's about doing things smarter.
Exactly.
That's pretty incredible.
Think about it. AI can generate content, it can design entire campaigns, it can even predict conversions with pretty amazing accuracy.
And that applies to both small and large-scale stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't discriminate. Whether you're a small business owner trying to target a specific niche market or a big corporation launching a nationwide campaign, AI can help you refine and elevate your approach.
So it's not just about executing a plan, it's about actually shaping the plan itself.
Exactly. AI can be a powerful tool for strategic thinking.
That's amazing. But let's be real for a second. Myths 5 and 7 talk about cost and data complexity, claiming that AI is expensive and complicated, and that more data means better AI results. Those are pretty big concerns for a lot of businesses.
Yeah, those are valid concerns, but they're also based on some outdated assumptions about AI.
Okay, how so?
Well, first of all, there are definitely some enterprise-level AI solutions out there that are super expensive and complicated. But there are also tons of accessible and user-friendly tools that don't require, a massive tech team or a huge budget. We talked about chatbots earlier, but there are also tools like HubSpot, ChatGPT, and Salesforce Einstein.
Okay, I've heard of some of those.
These tools are designed to be easy to use and integrate into your existing systems. You don't need to be a tech genius to figure them out.
That's a relief.
And as for the data part, it's true that AI needs data to function, but the myth that more data means better results is a little misleading.
Okay, I could see how that could be tricky.
It's actually the quality of your data that matters most. You could have terabytes of data, but if it's inaccurate or irrelevant to your goals, it's basically useless.
So it's not about drowning in data, it's about using the right data.
Exactly. Think of it like this. You wouldn't try to bake a cake with rotten eggs and expect it to be delicious, right?
No, definitely not.
Same goes for AI. You need to feed it good, clean, structured data if you want to get good results. So data cleaning and preparation is super important.
Garbage in, garbage out. Makes sense.
Right. It's all about quality over quantity.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. Now let's talk about a couple of myths that seem to be kind of at odds with each other.
All right, I'm intrigued.
Myth number 6 says customers prefer human interaction over AI.
Interesting.
And myth number 9 claims that if I implement AI, I no longer need a sales or marketing team. So is AI replacing human interaction, or is it eliminating the need for humans altogether? I'm a little confused.
It's easy to see why people might be confused, yeah. These myths kind of paint AI as this either-or situation, but the truth is it's way more nuanced than that.
Okay, so it's not black and white.
No, there's a lot of gray area, and it really comes down to understanding that AI is not meant to replace human teams completely. It's about enhancing their capabilities and improving the overall customer experience.
So it's not about choosing AI over humans, it's about finding ways for them to work together.
Precisely. Think of it like a partnership, right? Where AI handles the heavy lifting, like all that data analysis and automation stuff.
Okay.
And then humans focus on building relationships, understanding the nuances of customer needs, and providing that personalized touch that AI just can't replicate.
So it's about playing to each other's strengths.
Exactly.
Can you give me a real-world example of how that might look?
Sure. Let's say you're running an e-commerce website, right?
Okay.
You could use AI to personalize product recommendations for every customer based on their browsing history and past purchases.
That sounds cool.
It is cool, and it can really improve the customer experience. But what happens when a customer has a really complicated question or needs some specific advice? That's where your human team comes in. They can provide that expert guidance and build that personal connection that just isn't possible with AI.
So AI is like the efficient assistant, taking care of all the routine stuff and freeing up the humans to focus on those more complex and, emotionally intelligent interactions.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
It's like a dream team.
It is. It's all about leveraging the best of both worlds to create an amazing customer experience.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. And it ties back to what we were talking about earlier about AI not replacing jobs, but actually making them better.
Exactly. It's all about augmenting human capabilities, not replacing them.
I like that. All right, we've busted quite a few myths already, but there's one that just seems to keep popping up in different forms. This idea that AI is only good for certain things, like it has a limited scope.
Ah, yes, the AI is niche myth.
Right, we've already debunked the myths that AI is only for big companies and AI is only for tech companies, but there's still this feeling that AI is only applicable in certain industries or for certain tasks. Like it's not really a universal tool.
I think that's a misconception that's slowly starting to fade away, but it's definitely still out there.
Yeah. How do we bust this myth once and for all?
Well, I think the key is to understand that AI is rapidly becoming a horizontal enabler.
Horizontal enabler. What does that mean?
It means that AI has the potential to impact pretty much every industry and every function imaginable. It's not limited to just a few specific areas.
Oh, okay. So it's not just about, optimizing online experiences or automating tasks in tech companies.
No, not at all. It's so much broader than that. AI is finding its way into healthcare, finance, manufacturing, even education. It's popping up everywhere.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. Can you give me some specific examples of how AI is being used in these unexpected industries?
Sure, let's take healthcare, for instance. AI is being used to analyze medical images like X-rays and scans.
Really?
Yeah, it can help doctors diagnose diseases earlier and more accurately. It can also assist with things like personalized treatment plans, which is amazing.
That sounds pretty revolutionary.
It is. It's like having a super intelligent medical assistant by your side.
That's incredible. What about other industries?
Well, in finance, AI is being used to detect fraud, manage risk, and even automate investment decisions. It's like having a financial advisor who can process information and make predictions much faster than any human could.
Wow, that's a game changer.
It is. And then in manufacturing, you've got AI optimizing production processes, improving quality control, and even predicting when machines might break down.
So it's making things more efficient and preventing costly repairs.
Exactly. It's all about using data to make smarter decisions and improve outcomes.
These are some seriously impressive examples. It really highlights how far-reaching AI is becoming.
It's just the beginning, too. As AI technology keeps evolving, we're going to see even more innovative applications emerge in the next few years. I mean, we're only just scratching the surface of what's possible.
It's both exciting and a little bit daunting. It feels like we're on the verge of this massive technological shift, and it's hard to know exactly what the future holds.
I agree. It's definitely a time of rapid change. It's understandable to feel a mix of excitement and apprehension about it all, but I think the key is to be open to new possibilities.
That's a good point. It's not about fearing the unknown. It's about approaching it with, curiosity and a willingness to learn and adapt.
Exactly. And that brings us back to the whole point of this deep dive, right? It's about equipping you with the knowledge and insights you need to make informed decisions about AI and how it can impact your business, your career, and your life in general.
We've definitely covered a lot of ground already. We've busted myths about AI replacing jobs, being too expensive, being too complicated, and even being limited in its scope.
It's been a great conversation so far.
It really has. We've got even more to unpack, including some fascinating examples of how AI is already transforming sales and marketing strategies in some pretty unexpected ways.
Oh yeah, there's so much more to explore.
I can't wait. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's just pause here for a second and let our listener absorb all this information. I mean, this is just the beginning of their AI journey. There's so much more to discover.
Absolutely. It's a wild world out there in sales and marketing with all this new AI stuff.
Yeah, you said it. It really feels like there are endless possibilities.
It's like having a magic wand or something. AI can do so much.
I'm definitely getting excited about the potential, but I also want to be realistic.
Right, right.
We can't just assume that AI is the answer to everything.
Definitely not a magic bullet, no.
Myth number 8 in this article we're looking at says AI replaces the need for human connection.
Okay.
Do you think that's true? Like, can AI really replace human interaction altogether?
That's a good question, and I think it's healthy to be a little skeptical about that claim. While AI can definitely handle certain tasks super efficiently, I don't think it can ever truly replace the human element.
So it's not an either-or situation. It's not AI versus humans.
No, I don't think so. I see it more as the collaboration, like AI and humans work together to achieve something better than either could alone.
I like that. So how does that actually work? Can you paint me a picture of this AI-human dream team?
Sure. Think about it like this. AI is really good at handling those repetitive, data-heavy tasks, like analyzing customer data and automating marketing campaigns.
Okay, yeah.
That frees up the human team members to focus on what they're best at, right? Like building those genuine relationships with customers, crafting compelling stories, and providing that personalized touch that AI honestly can't quite grasp.
It's about playing to everyone's strengths.
Exactly. AI is the efficient workhorse handling the data and the automation, while humans bring the creativity, the empathy, the strategic thinking.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. But can you give me a more concrete example? Like, how does this play out in a real-world scenario?
Okay, let's say you're running an e-commerce store.
Okay.
You can use AI to personalize product recommendations for your customers based on their past purchases and their browsing history.
Yeah, I've seen that on some websites.
Right. It's pretty cool. It can make the shopping experience a lot more enjoyable and relevant. But what if a customer has a question that's a little more complicated or needs some advice on choosing the right product? Well, that's where your human customer service team steps in. They can offer expert guidance and build that personal connection that AI, at least for now, just can't replicate.
It's like AI handles the first layer of interaction, and then humans take over when things get more complex or require more emotional intelligence.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. It's about providing a seamless experience for the customer, using AI to enhance the efficiency and humans to deliver that personal touch.
I like that. So we're not talking about replacing human jobs. We're talking about making them better.
Yeah, I think that's a much more accurate way to look at it. AI is about augmenting human capabilities, not eliminating them.
This is making a lot more sense now. So we've busted a few myths about AI being too expensive, too complicated, and even a threat to human jobs.
Right.
But there's one myth that just keeps cropping up in different forms. The idea that AI is limited in its scope.
Like it can only do certain things.
Yeah, exactly. We already debunked the myths that it's only for big companies or tech companies, but there's still this sense that it's not truly a universal tool.
Right, like it's only useful for very specific tasks or industries.
Yeah, like it's not really mainstream yet.
Yeah, I bet it. And it's true that some people still view AI as a niche technology.
Okay.
But I think that view is quickly becoming outdated. AI is evolving so fast, it's rapidly becoming what we call a horizontal enabler.
Okay, another fancy term. What does horizontal enabler mean?
Basically, it means that AI has the potential to impact pretty much every industry and every function you can think of. It's not confined to just a few specific areas anymore.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's not just about making online ads more targeted or automating data entry in a tech company.
No, not at all. It's so much bigger than that now.
So AI is breaking out of its little box.
Exactly. It's finding its way into healthcare, finance, manufacturing, education, you name it. The applications are pretty much endless.
Wow, that's really exciting. Can you give me some specific examples of how AI is being used in these unexpected industries?
Sure. Let's start with healthcare since we were talking about that earlier. AI is being used to analyze medical images like X-rays and CT scans to help doctors make more accurate diagnoses.
No way. Really?
Yep. It can spot things that human doctors might miss, and it can do it much faster.
That's amazing. So it's like having a second set of eyes, but super powered eyes.
Exactly. And it can even help doctors personalize treatment plans for patients, which is incredible.
That's a game changer. What about other industries?
Okay, in finance, AI is being used to detect fraud and manage risk much more effectively than traditional methods. It can analyze huge amounts of financial data and identify patterns that could indicate fraudulent activity.
That's got to be a huge help for banks and other financial institutions.
Oh yeah, it's a big deal. And it can also help with things like automating investment decisions. It's like having a super smart financial advisor who can make predictions and recommendations based on all the latest market data.
So AI is like a financial whiz.
Pretty much.
That's cool. What about manufacturing? I'm curious to hear how AI is being used there.
Well, in manufacturing, AI is being used to optimize production processes.
Okay.
It can make things more efficient, reduce waste, and improve quality control. And one of the coolest things is that it can even predict when machines might break down.
So it's like preventative maintenance.
Exactly. And that can save companies a ton of money in the long run because they can address potential problems before they become major issues.
These are some really impressive examples. It really shows how versatile AI is becoming.
It is, and it's just the beginning. As AI technology continues to evolve, I think we're going to see even more innovative applications pop up in the next few years. I mean, we're really just scratching the surface of what's possible here.
It's both exciting and a little overwhelming. It feels like we're on the cusp of this massive technological revolution.
It is a time of rapid change, that's for sure. It's understandable to feel a mix of like excitement and anxiety about it all.
It's like, I know this is going to change everything, but I'm not quite sure how.
Yeah, I get it. But I think the most important thing is to stay curious and keep learning. The more we understand about AI, the better equipped we'll be to navigate this new landscape and harness its power for good.
That's a good point. It's not about fearing the unknown. It's about approaching it with a sense of, like, wonder and a willingness to learn and adapt.
Exactly. And that's what this deep dive is all about, right? It's about giving you the knowledge and tools you need to understand AI and make informed decisions about how to use it in your own life and work.
We've definitely covered a lot of ground today. We've debunked myths about AI replacing jobs, being too expensive, too complicated, and even being limited in its scope.
Yeah, we've made some good progress.
We've also explored some pretty amazing examples of how AI is already being used to solve real-world problems and create new opportunities across a wide range of industries.
And there's so much more to come.
I'm excited to see what the future holds, but before we get too carried away with the future, let's bring it back to the present for a moment. We've got one final myth to debunk, and it's one that's especially relevant to anyone working in sales and marketing today.
Okay, let's hear it.
Myth number 9 claims that AI will make sales and marketing teams obsolete. It feels like we've come full circle, back to that initial fear of robots taking over the world. It does feel like we're back where we started, that whole robots are taking over thing. But I have a feeling we're going to prove this myth wrong.
I think you're right. This myth comes from like a misunderstanding of what AI can actually do. Sure, AI can automate some tasks, but it's not going to replace entire sales and marketing teams.
So it's not about AI taking over. It's more about AI, teaming up with humans.
Exactly. Think of it as a collaboration. AI can handle the repetitive stuff, the data-heavy tasks.
Right, like crunching numbers and sending out emails.
Yeah, things like that. And that frees up the humans to focus on the stuff that AI, at least for now, just can't do.
Like what?
Well, things like building relationships with customers, coming up with creative marketing campaigns, and just like providing that personal touch that makes people feel valued and understood.
So AI is more like the behind-the-scenes support, and humans are the face of the operation.
That's a good way to put it. It's like a well-oiled machine with AI handling the gears and humans steering the wheel.
Okay, that makes sense. But can you give me a real-world example of how this plays out in, say, a marketing campaign?
Sure. Let's say you're a marketing manager and you're launching a new product. AI can help you analyze market trends, identify your target audience, and even personalize messages for different groups of customers.
So it's like AI does all the research or prep work.
Exactly. But then it's the human team that takes all that information and turns it into a compelling story that resonates with people. They add the creativity, the emotion, the human touch that makes a campaign truly memorable and effective.
So AI provides the data-driven insights, and humans provide the storytelling and the emotional connection.
Exactly. It's a powerful combination.
I'm starting to see how this all fits together. This deep dive has really shown me the power of AI, but it's also made me realize how important human skills are in this new landscape.
For sure.
What are some of the skills that, sales and marketing professionals should be focusing on to thrive in this AI-driven world?
Well, I think skills like critical thinking, creativity, emotional intelligence, and complex problem solving are more important than ever. As AI takes over more of the routine tasks, humans need to step up and focus on the strategic and nuanced aspects of sales and marketing. The things that require uniquely human capabilities.
So it's not just about learning how to use AI tools, it's about developing the skills that complement those tools.
Exactly. It's about embracing lifelong learning, staying curious, and constantly evolving to adapt to the changing world around us.
This has been an incredible journey. I feel like we've really explored the world of AI and learned so much about how it's changing the landscape of sales and marketing.
It's been a fantastic conversation, and I hope our listener feels the same way.
I'm sure they do. As we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave everyone with one final thought. The future of AI isn't something that's set in stone. It's something we're creating right now with the choices we make. If we approach AI with curiosity, responsibility, and a focus on making things better for everyone, then I think AI can help us achieve amazing things. We can solve complex challenges, reach new heights of innovation, and ultimately create a better world.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's not just about understanding AI, it's about using it wisely and ethically to create a positive impact.
Absolutely. And on that note, we'll leave our listener to continue their own AI adventures. Keep learning, keep experimenting, and remember, the future of AI is in our hands.